probably be a little more light in this, don't you think? Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Okay, there we go. Shed a little light on this. All right, we're better. Drop the stuff on the ground. Okay, I have no new comic books to show today because I didn't. Oh, actually, no, wait, that's not entirely true. I did just find these. That's right. Part 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. You guys remember the Mephisto-verse storyline? This happened just around the same time as the Hela destroys everything thing. So yeah, it's like everything. Mephisto-verse, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Factor, and the X-Men, and the Avengers. And this was an amazing storyline. I loved it so much. And a lot of people say, oh, it didn't go anywhere. I remember some of the bigger comic book channels, oh, it didn't go anywhere. I don't think you really understand the way that a cosmic demon, like, a Hell Lord, like Mephisto thinks. He was willing to do all of that crazy stuff just to set a suggestion in a Death Lord's head. So I'm going to do a spotlight and story that. Now that I have all 4 issues here, I'm going to do a spotlight and story that one of these days. What do you call it? So let's see. Hey, what's up, Suen? Hey, Doug, Nurture Doug. Let's hear for the Creeper and the question. First off, let's actually go to the top. Okay, yeah, I know. R.I.P. Steve Ditko. Got it up there. What do you call it? Steve Ditko was. Look, I'm not gonna cut any. Let's just cut through all the crap. Steve Ditko was not particularly one of the greatest people in the world. So much so that I don't know that he was about helping people. He certainly wasn't nice to people. He was very, very, very solid on the whole Ayn Rand idea that the richest of the rich believe, where it's like you just look out for yourself pretty much. Go and read like Atlas Shrugged and such. And it sounds really good, when you're in high school or in university when you're first reading it. But then you actually go out in life and you realize that it's a very dickish kind of thing to do. That aside, he also, if you're going to say something bad about that, say something good about it also, in so much that he didn't like Stan Lee, okay? Much like Jack Kirby didn't like Stan Lee. Here's the difference between those two not liking Stan Lee. And mind you, I love Stan Lee, I love Ditko, I love Kirby. But Stan Lee did have a lot of privilege in the Marvel world, in the comic books. There's a reason why he would never go to DC Comics back in the day. Archie Goodwin was essentially like his uncle or something to that effect, and he was like the head of Marvel. You know what I'm saying? The owner of the whole darn thing. So he had a lot of pull, a lot of sway, but he had the opinion of, hey man, it's not my business trying to negotiate things with you. I have the ability to negotiate up to a certain point. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to go to my uncle. I'm not going to go to my mommy and my daddy and try and get, more things for you. That's not my job. So he was just about the stories and putting out the comics and stuff like that. And all of them had egos. Every single one of them had egos. All of them. Nobody's innocent of that. So much later on, Kirby got upset at Stan Lee and said, oh, you're a jerk because you didn't get me things that you could have gotten me. You didn't use, basically, let's be honest, exactly what it's called. You didn't use your privilege to help me out. Ditko, however, turned around and looked at it as like, you didn't use your privilege to help me out either. But that's your privilege. So I'm going to worry about me. You worry about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. He asked, can I have some, because, make no mistake, guys, a lot of people like to say that Stan Lee didn't have a lot of input on things. I pretty much, Jim Starlin, in my interview with him, he pretty much debunked that. Go and check out my interview with Jim Starlin. I just did it, I just put it up 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, something like that. I asked, because he brought it up. I was like, did he actually have Stan Lee have some influence on the comic books? And he's like, yes, he absolutely did. He did this, and he did this, and he did this, and you look at what these guys did when he was gone, when he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And that tells you that tells you his influence and his input that he absolutely had on the comic book world. Hey, how come the comic book world didn't really have that much after he left and he went over to Hollywood and started, trying to sell movie rights and more specifically license rights for movies, for cartoons, for all sorts of little programs like that? How come we didn't have any new, any really awesome major new influx of characters? A lot of it was because Stan Lee. So, but Spider-Man was a big deal. Hey, he gave complete commentary. What is it? When the topic of discussion came to Stan Lee about Doctor Strange, he's like, listen, I didn't understand Doctor Strange. I didn't think that Doctor Strange would work. I kind of did bury him in the back of the Strange Tales books because I didn't believe that he was going to be an interesting character. That was pretty much all Ditko. I had very little input on what happened with Doctor Strange. He acknowledges that. He admits that. He owns that. But then he turns around and he also says, but Spider-Man was all me. Like, aside from drawing the lines in the way and actually drawing the final product of Spider-Man, he's like, all of that was me. I didn't think of the idea of drawing the webs on his costume, the lines to make the webs on his costume, or the webs underneath the arms. I didn't think of doing stuff like that. But everything else, that was me. That was me. I did all of that. Stan Lee very rarely stands up for himself in that regard. He's usually too much like placate, but not with Spider-Man. So, just saying. But Ditko was very, very mature when it came to discussing, hey man, you do you, I do me. But I do want some influence. I want some credit for my influence on Spider-Man. I did write. I at least plotted most of those stories, when I was on it. That was me. That wasn't you. You didn't sit here and write, you put some words in his mouth based on my notes, but let's be realistic. Stan Lee very, very reluctantly said, okay, fine, boom, 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 he's the co-writer. Or the co-creator, excuse me. So it is what it is. Nobody's innocent in any of this stuff. Everybody shares some kind of guilt, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That being said, Ditko had a lot of really great stories to write. Narrator Doug goes and mentions at one point the Creeper. First off, the Question. The Question is a heck of a character. And one of the biggest regret, I do have regret. I know a lot of people, I don't have any regrets in my life. You must be one of the most successful people in the world. I have tons of regrets. You know what I'm saying? One of my regrets is that I never did what I've been planning on doing for months now, which is to stop and think of a good, intelligent letter to write to Mr. Ditko and ask him about the Question. Because I know that he's not going to try and help out my comic book channel. He's not interested in that. His opinion, according to his stated philosophies, you do you, I do me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to help you. You've got nothing to help me with. I don't care if you make a video advertising, Mr. A. I don't make money off of Mr. A. So, you know what I'm saying? Spider-Man can't get any more popular. There's literally nothing that I could do for Mr. Steve Ditko. And he acknowledges that, and he'd be more than willing to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? I've read plenty of his letters that have been posted online. Handwritten letters to people with his signature on it to people. And I thought to myself, I would love to try and get some idea about, one of his takes on Mr. A, because I wanted for the longest time to do 10 things about Mr. A. And I never did, and look, now he went and died. Wow. So you want to talk about a regret? There's a regret, People used to try and write nice little witty things to him, like postcard-style letters, just, and then send things. And, like one person... one person wrote a return letter, like a postcard, and put it inside of an envelope and said, hey, I'd really like your opinion on such, or, oh, I think that you're a really awesome guy, blah, 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 and then actually put a stamp on the letter, the return the return letter to him. And he writes back, why the stamp? I can afford a stamp. And then he sends it back with his signature. So they're like, oh, that's right, guys. I got, Steve Ditko's signature. And they post it online. I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay, man. There you go. That's you. All right. Congratulations. if that makes you happy, dude, I'm glad you're happy. It didn't seem to be any sweat off of his back, but it is what it is. But yeah, he was a very private person. I can respect that. I wish that more celebrities were a little bit more private. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to push out their ideals that, sometimes are kind of controversial, but it is what it is. However, Nerder Doug does mention also the Creeper. I am currently working on the Creeper. 10 things about the Creeper. I wish I could have put it out today. I wish I could have put it out today. I didn't. I did put out the Rat Queens, which was, he was talking to me about. He's like, hey, you ever read the Rat Queens? Like, holy crap, the Rat Queens. Yeah, I haven't read that in forever. I read the first 10 issues. I remember when it switched to the different writer. I forget who the original writer was, his name, but I read it off. But S.h.i.e.l.d, who got really, really, really famous for writing the Aquaman, with me at least, drawing the Aquaman pictures where everything looks like it's really underwater. I've never seen an Aquaman drawn the way that he draws it. The guy is beyond sublime. And anyway, yeah, he jumped in, and although I did like the art looked fine. I just kind of looked at it as, okay, you're going to change, this has been a team for a long time, and you're going to change the artist. Well, I'm just going to leave. And I didn't know that Stjepan was going to wind up becoming probably my favorite interior art comic book artist of the present day. He's got to be, because if I see something drawn by him, I'm jumping on it. Anyway, so yeah, the Rat Queens, and I went and I read the final 16, all of the 16 issues that came out. So the other 6 issues that came out after I'd stopped reading, and just really good stuff. So I threw up a really quick spotlight story today on that, and then I did Shorn. It should actually be pronounced Shorn, but most people I talk to are like, oh, Xorn. It's like, dude, he's got a Chinese name. It's pronounced with a sh kind of sound, sorry, or maybe a zh kind of sound, but anyway, let it go. So I did that inside. Anyway, it is my birthday tomorrow, actually, and yeah, everybody keeps on saying, hey, Bill, do you want to do this on your birthday? Hey, Bill, you want to do that on your birthday? And it's I'm talking about family members. I'm like, I keep forgetting it's my birthday. Could you help me to forget it's my birthday? Because I don't celebrate my birthday. It's whatever, dude. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm going to be 43 tomorrow. I don't regret my age. I'm totally cool with my age. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I look a lot younger than I should. It's actually one of the reasons why I started growing a beard, because I always looked really, really freaking young. In fact, I wonder if I can give you guys a special treat today. Let's see if I have it available. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to try not to show you all the other stuff, but here is my army card. Oh, can you guys even see that? Darn it. Anyway, here's what I looked like when I was 17 years old and I first joined the Army. I don't know if you guys can see that very well or not, but yeah. What do you call it? There's all sorts of info on there that I don't necessarily want to be giving out. Oh, case in point, yeah, my Social Security card number on there. Yeah, so I was trying to block all that stuff out, but yes, this is actually my old. That's my old picture from when I was in the Army, and not too shabby, huh? So, anyway, yeah. Yeah, I signed up when I was 17. I needed my mom's permission to sign up. How freaking weird. Let's see what's going on. Yes, the new Shatterstar comic is going to be written by Tim Seeley, which is just freaking weird to me because, oh my god. What do you call it? He, what was it? He's the one who did the Prelude to the Wedding stuff, which was especially weird. Oh, there's the top of my desktop monitor in there, so let me just try to move that out of the way. But, that was weird. If you guys saw the second to last one, which one was it? The Red Hood one, Red Hood versus Anarchy. I tried to maintain a straight face and all stuff, and I was clearly hit by Joker gas. in that one. I practically want to start smacking my head on the freaking table. I was laughing so hard at how horrible that comic was in every way imaginable. Writing team, wise. So is what it is. Joe Fisher, you will be 45 on Tuesday. Nice, dude. Nice. So on the 10th, I imagine that is. Yes. Let's see. You look good and different. That was a picture taken in the 60s. 60s? Yeah, mother fat head. No, that was taken in 1993. No. Yes. In 1993. I graduated high school in 1993. And, yeah, boom. So I went into the Army and I had that picture. Actually, I think that was when I was a little bit older than 17. Because they originally had they switched cards. They switched. That's a for me at least. That's a more updated card. We had this really crappy regular plain green card when we went in, and Dependents had a tan card, if I remember correctly. They had like a tan card. It's like, oh look, I'm a dependent, so I can get into the commissary and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Be happy. Suan would be happy with a Shatterstar comic regardless. See, I don't... Angsty teenagerness. I don't get into comics that way. Like, I'm happy when I hear that a comic could be announced, but I also get a little bit of trepidation because I don't know if the guy's going to actually write decently. The guy or the girl is going to write decently, unless I know that it's going to be good for the character. I knew that Gail Simone was going to write a good Domino, and I knew that she would write a good Plastic Man, But if we turned around and said, "Oh, Gail Simone," what do you call? I was really happy because I read the Conan and Wonder Woman comic book by her. But if somebody were to say, "Oh yeah, she's gonna write," I don't know, oh, okay, how about this? Look what I just got a couple weeks ago. I think I showed you guys. Manhunter. What if she was going to write a Manhunter comic book, okay? And this is actually the Green Lantern version of the Manhunter, but if it was the original Jack Kirby Manhunter character, it's like, oh, she's going to write a Manhunter story. I'd be like, okay, cool. Maybe that'll be good. Maybe it won't. I didn't know. But it is what it is. Ghost Skittle, what's up, dude? No, I did not watch Cloak and Dagger yet. Sorry. True Mate, what's going on, dude? Dick Fillmore, what's going on? Sean is like that kid in Mallrats with Stanley. It's just tracing. The Uncanny Kyle Waka. Hello from New Zealand. What's up? And True Mate, I think I do remember you saying that you were from Great Britain. So from Wales, awesome. From Diana Land. Hello, Bigfoot Country, USA. Best cannabis on earth. Dick Fillmore is like a pro advocate. Power to the people. Yeah. Rest in peace to Mr. Ditko. Green Lantern Manhunter is a robot. Yes. What was the guy's name? Mark Shaw. You would be able to look that up faster than I would, Doug. But yeah, the Green Lantern Manhunter was actually a team. It was actually a force of Manhunters that just had the look of the original Manhunter. The original Manhunter was basically Kraven the Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was, just in a suit with a mask and all that stuff. But it is what it is. One of these days I do want to do the Manhunter, but I think I want to finish my New Gods run, and I need to get to doing the Eternals. They just died, but they're also going to be a big part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Part 4 of the Avengers. Oh, for crying out loud, I just had shawarma, and I'm dying. That's right, everything in my life is comic books. We had some shawarma. I'm going to sit here and try and cover my beard like this. Lawrence Fishburne wants to be Galactus. Oh my God! Well, first off, Lawrence Fishburne was an amazing Silver Surfer. The voice, at least, it sounded great, and that was probably the only good part for the most part. In the fight scene and the chase scene between Silver Surfer and Human Torch was actually pretty cool. Also, I like that he was able to phase underground and he phased through the freaking building and stuff like that. Like, they showed that he is a powerhouse and you're not going to escape him. That was awesome. I did enjoy that. It's just everything else in the movie, especially the big purple fart cloud that was supposed to be Galactus. Yeah, dude, if he wants to play the voice of Galactus, give it to him. Let's see, Advocate, more like Zorro the past 25 years. um, Sean, can Havoc shoot plasma beams out of his? um, if he wanted to, I suppose. Maybe as a power stunt. Oh man. Aren El Colossal. Hey, greetings from Chile. What is your favorite current DC comic book run? Okay, that's like you asked me at the exact wrong time. The I was gonna say that it was Green Lanterns, not Green Lanterns. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps recently, but that's coming to an end. Robert Venditti is apparently going to jump from that over to Green Lanterns, and I'm happy. But Venditti is also writing the Hawkman comic book. So right now, like anything by Venditti is just, oh my god, it's amazing. So my answer would probably be that. But at the same time, because of Sean Sidrai, my Eye of Agamotto, he's really been pushing me a lot to read both Moon Girl, Wolf Warner, also big time. I don't know if I saw him in the chat or not, but Wolf Warner's also been pushing me. Read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So I started, and but Sean has also been pushing me to read Green Arrow. So I picked up the previous 2 issues of Green Arrow, and I read and reviewed them, and they were amazing. And it took me back to the days of like the Longbow Hunters and everything, man. Absolutely fantastic. Fell in love with it. So yeah, now's a really bad time to ask me that question because I'm just like, ooh, there's some really nice stuff from DC right now. But fair, very, very fair. Is there Hawkman of Mars? I think that in the past, Sean, there would have had to have been a Hawkman of Mars. You know what I'm saying? He would have been one of the green aliens, I would imagine, as opposed to the white ones. But yeah, why not? What just happened here? You can eat shawarma while reading comics. It's called a power couple. Nice, Sued. The Mega Decks. I recently found an Amazing Fantasy issue number 1. Oh, that would be Amazing Adult Fantasy issue number 1. The first 14 issues were called Amazing Adult Family. Only 15 they took out the adult, the Amazing Adult Fantasy. I said family before. But and it was left to me along with a huge container of old comics. Dude, that is freaking awesome. That could have been a great anthology comic, and I'm so sad that they just let it go. But hey, if they were going to let it go, at least they put it out the right way, you know, where Stan's just like, dude, I want to put out this guy Spider-Man. Yeah, sure, we're canceling this comic book anyway. You can, you know, get your giggles by throwing it out there. It's so funny that nobody liked Stan's ideas, but he had the ability to, you know, and the floor to put them out. It's just he had to, you know, get through a lot of resistance to do it. But like that's the thing. So when a lot of people say, "Oh, Stan could have done this, Stan could have done that," let's actually look at history. Stan had to cheat to put out the Fantastic Four. Mind you, a lot of that was some Kirby's old drawings and ideas that Stan updated, revamped, and made likable. Like Jim Starlin said, Stan made characters likable. Genuinely, like the characters themselves from the heart. We attached ourselves to these characters. What do you call it? We like imagine Stan working over the New Gods. Imagine Stan Lee bringing in his interpretation of Jack Kirby's The New Gods. Imagine that. Imagine how much more, what a great feeling we would have had, the attachment we would have had to all these other characters. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them just feeling so mechanical. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, Stan was about to quit when he put out the Fantastic Four. He's like, all right, listen, Jack, here's what's going to happen. This might wind up being the last story that I ever put out, but I want to put out this story, all right? They got a Justice League over there in D.C., you know, national. They were D.C. at the time. I want to put this out, so let's just do this. So he puts it out, and then 2 months later, he's being called, we need more. We need more of this. And he was thinking, like his wife told him, Joni, she's like, dude, you're going to quit anyway. Put out the story that you want. So we put out the Fantastic Four, you know? Ant-Man was a character that he worked on before he was Ant-Man, when he's just Henry Pym. He was just a character that he worked on with his brother, and he put it out there. Boom, and that was actually his favorite character, was Hank Pym. That was Stan Lee's favorite character, you know? Tidbit. I just told you about Spider-Man. Like, he had a hard time putting out, you know, the comic books that he actually wanted to put out, the stories that he wanted to put out. He had to fight to put them out. It's like, okay, we're going to cancel this comic book. Nobody's reading it, so go ahead, put it here. And the few people who did read it made enough of a big noise that people are like, what? So, I'm telling you. Let's see. Ghost Skittle, you're going to go see the Teen Titans Go movie. Is that actually going to be in the theaters? Here's the thing. No, I will not go and see that. If it comes to Netflix soon, then I'll watch it there. But I only watched 2 episodes, meaning one showing of the Teen Titans. It was the one with BPRD or whatever it was called. It couldn't be BPRD. That'd be Hellboy, right? Anyway, it was the episode where he made the song. You know, hey mama, I'd be fiddling. You know, I'd be fiddling. I gots to be fiddling. You know, and hits the fiddle button, fiddle to the internet. Anyway, and he makes that song for Raven. That was great. Like, that was suggested to me by somebody at my comic book store. I watched it. Good stuff. When I was in Aurelia, those episodes came on again. When I went to that ComicCon up there a couple weeks ago, those episodes came on again. And I was watching, like, this is really good. But then further episodes came on, and I'm sitting here watching them like, this show sucks. With all due respect, I just didn't like it. They had one where they were really going into money marketing, and my wife and I are looking at each other, and my wife doesn't even know economics the way that I do, but she's even looking at us like, this is horrible advice, this is terrible. I was like, yeah, I know, this is ridiculous, and we just turned it off. Like by the end of that, we watched that episode to its conclusion, and it was horrible. I'm like, this stinks. So it's not like, at the end they fix it. I want to see, are they going to get to the end and change what they were saying? Like, okay, this is all really bad advice, by the way. No, they didn't. So it's like, this is not such a great series. So I'm probably not going to go I'm not going to go and watch that. But I just don't have that investment in the show. BBRAE. Okay, there's the one. Yeah. Talking about Bay, something like it's the Bay song. Yeah, that one. Gus Skittle knows what's going on. Used to watch it when you were younger. Nice. Wait, aren't you only 15? What's younger? Aggressively relaxing. I'm not making fun of you, brother. The mutant genome keeps you at the constant age of 28 to 40. That's a pretty wide range. I don't know, dude. You know what? I'm just happy that, like, I haven't lost my hair, and that's just genes. That's got, like, that's the funny thing when we all talk about our looks and things like that. Everything is about genes and genetics. You know what I'm saying? I had absolutely nothing to do with which 2 people mated to produce me and which other people mated to produce them and things. I had absolutely nothing to do with that. So I'm just lucky I got, genes like, what do you call it? My hair doesn't really turn gray. My beard does, as you can see. I'm not going bald in any way, which is awesome. What do you call it? My wife especially loves that. Yeah, for the most part, I've got a fairly decent metabolism. I don't know, it is what it is. And my height, you know what I'm saying? All these things that I have absolutely nothing to do with. And just, yeah, I'm just, I don't know, fortunate that way. Literally. Like, yay. What's my favorite Stan Lee cameo? Well, Megadex. That's actually a really hard one. I would like to say all of them. Honestly, like, I don't remember any that aren't good. I think that the original Guardians of the Galaxy one, though, might have been one of the best, just because it was simply him talking and Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon making fun of him. Look at this old guy. Look at this guy. This guy has no right to even be out here. Like, that was just great. I really liked that. Aggressively relaxing. Blah. Aggressively reacting. That's what I'm thinking. Aggressively relaxing. Happy birthday. Have you noticed there's 2 Ant-Man and Wasp stories running at the same time and 2 Deadpools? Yes, I review them all. And they have the same numbering and the pairs have similar stories. Deadpool doesn't usually have a very wide berth of stories, so that I understand. As far as the Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's a different Wasp in each one of them. And are they really that similar? I guess. I don't know. The Mark Waid one, though, is just so... what do you call it? In fact, that first one, the first issue isn't actually a series. That's just a one-shot. But the Mark Waid one is just a 5-issue limited run. So, yeah. I don't know. Regardless, the Mark Waid one is, wow, so good, so good. You know, it's just the right blend of actual science with fluff. You know what I'm saying? It's the perfect balance. I absolutely love it. So what else we get? So that's fine. Sean, it could be the canon Suin. I mean, barely anyone ages in comics. Oh, I'm a comic book character now, aren't I? Scotty Young, Deadpool sucks. Dude, it's only 2 issues in, man. Come on. Come on. Are you the Ant God? Yeah, Sean, dude, that was the... just go back and look at my issue 2 and issue 3. Just go look at the reviews of them. If you're not going to buy the comic book right away, at least check out my reviews and see if you might change your mind. I think that's a run that a lot of people are going to go back to and just say that was great. Like the cutest thing, those microverse versions of ants when they walked up. Hi, I don't know you, but I have a strange compulsion to obey you. What kind of orders do you have for me? It's like, oh, are you ants? I thought those guys were ants. What? No? Those guys? No. Those guys are stupid. Those guys are like idiots. Oh, crap, he heard me. Hey, what's up? And the guy like flips him off or something. It's like, is this really happening? Are you the ant god? Yes, I am the great ant god. Okay, fine, I'm not the ant god. Aww. Oh my God, Mark Waid has that down perfect. That is awesome. You know, like that's one of the things I love about him. The dude doesn't have to make the big grand scale, massive. Oh, here comes the Kingdom Come thing. No, he could just make a funny comic book. He could just make, and it was adorable as well. Besides just being funny, it was great. Can't wait till it's finished. Did you hear about Deadpool versus Black Panther miniseries? Oh, so Deadpool's going to be murdered maliciously, and finally, like he's actually going to be mauled and killed. Okay, wow. Because if anybody could find a way to kill him, it would be T'Challa. I'm just saying. He's got an entire team of people speaking in his ear, talking about, okay, I'm going to need the Galactus contingency. Like Galactus contingency, that was T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? Like just stumbling upon. Oh, what? You Wakandans have a contingency plan for Galactus? Where were you when he first came to the Fantastic Four? We thought that they had it handled. It was cool. But, we got the ultimate solution. What was the ultimate solution? Let's make him the life bringer. And then Jerry Duggan came along. The guy who made the perfect Deadpool run, mind you. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, that could actually be fun. There's a lot of Deadpool verse. Like, I'm actually thinking about doing a spotlighted story for Deadpool vs. Hawkeye. That could be fun. But there's a lot where it's just like there's no point in doing these. Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan was a horrible comic book. There was one really cool scene in there. And that was when Deadpool actually gave credence to the Wolverine Berserker Rage thing. That was a cool moment. But it was a moment in a 5-issue series that I hated. That was such a... I want my money back. I'm just saying. Are you excited about the new Amazing Spider-Man book this week? Yeah, Sean? Yes, I'm freaking excited. The guy who Lockjaw will write... the guy who Lockjaw will write that... Oh, the guy who wrote for Lockjaw is going to write that... Oh! Kibblesmith, right? That's the guy who wrote for Lockjaw. So Kibblesmith is going to write... That's actually... Okay, Deadpool vs. Black Panther, written by Kibblesmith. I can't remember anything else offhand that I've read by Kibblesmith, so I don't have anything else to judge that by. That was a very endearing book. The Lockjaw miniseries that just came out recently. It was very endearing. I don't want to read Deadpool vs. Black Panther as an endearing comic book. It's like, oh, they're so cute. You know what I'm saying? Scotty Young is drawing it or something, if that's the case. They got to look like the little X-babies, I don't think I want to read a book like that, so I'm hoping that he does have a wide range of styles. I think I read something else by Kibblesmith. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, Suan, if I were creating Bill as a superhero, I'd give him Medusa beard that can excrete pheromones to seduce his enemies while bench pressing them. Just saying. Wow. Okay. Huh. All right. No, don't do that, because I used to watch a lot of anime when I was a kid, so right away I got like tentacles in my head, so like So like tentacles and pheromones. I'm just no, you know what? I'm just gonna skip that. We're gonna move on. Amazing Spider-Man is the best Stan Lee cameo. The Amazing Spider-Man 1, Go Skittle. What happened in that one? I don't remember. What happened in that? Anyway, he should have been Uncle Ben. I'm just like, yeah, then again, we don't really want to see Stan Lee die, so there's that. R.I.P. Lockjaw. Spoilers! Sean also says, Quantum and Woody, he also... Oh, yes! He's writing Quantum and Woody! And I read the first issue and I didn't like it. Yeah. It is what it is. A lot of people are like, no, it's actually really cool, man. And like, yeah, okay, maybe the other stories are, but I didn't like this issue. Sorry. So I didn't continue reading it. The lizard fight. Swearing, cackling. Alex Samuel. Hey, guys. Joining late. Got held up at the Rainbow Bridge of Ascot. What's the Rainbow Bridge of Ascot? I want more information on that. Because there's actually a Rainbow Bridge connecting, there's the Queens Bridge and the Rainbow Bridge connecting Niagara Falls, Canada to Niagara Falls, America. You know what I'm saying? Like right there at New York. So the New York and Toronto border there. So I've actually had to cross by driving. The Rainbow Bridge is a driving bridge. The Queens Bridge is a driving bridge. The Rainbow Bridge is both. It's a walking and driving bridge. So you could walk across or you could drive across. So, yeah. Anyway, so it's always called the Rainbow Bridge. Like, Bifrost? Let's see. Go Skill. Scan is the librarian. Well, yeah, Spider-Man. And he's got the music playing and they're fighting in the background. He, like, moves at just the right time. Yes. Okay, I'll give you that. That was a really good one. Justin okay, I'm gonna try and pronounce your name. Don't get mad if I screw it up, please. Justin Corbet. Happy upcoming birthday. Thanks, brother. Joe Fisher, Sean, and he had on the headphone. Yeah, the headphones on. I just had that, but you guys have a delay. I get it. So, and honestly, Maximus hit me hard, Sean. Oh wow, yeah. That didn't bother me too much. Oh, okay. So Thor's Rainbow Bridge. Okay. Yeah, the Maximum one, I'm just like, for me, honestly, I was just like, yes, finally. Unfortunately, like, Lockjaw went with him. But, Victor, what's going on, Victor? Dude, Victor, okay, listen, there is this dude who does a YouTube video. I don't think you're on Facebook. Somebody just posted, Brian's Secret Fan. So, Secret Fan Z. Crap, I can't remember his name. Why am I not remembering his name? Anyway, I'm subbed to him on YouTube. He's a much smaller channel, but it is what it is. Anyway, he also does comic book reviews. He posted something in the Facebook group, the Comic Book University Facebook group, a rap by this dude. Can't remember his name. It just happened today. And I watched it really quick, and I was like, wow, this is good. It's a Juggernaut rap. So he's talking about, he's making a rap song about the Juggernaut, and it sounded awesome. And I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I can never beat something like this. I'm just going to quit being a comic book reviewer at this point, because like, it was that good. I'm like, wow, that was good. Brian Secret Fans, yes, thank you. Yeah, I knew that was that, but like, is that actually his name on YouTube? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, that guy. So, what do you call it? Yeah, you should definitely go and check that out. Look it up. I think it dropped today. I know I just saw it today. Really good. Really good. I didn't watch anything else by him yet. Yeah, there's more than one title. Yeah, you have to check that out, dude. There's more than one title. I mean, Death of X didn't even have... Yeah, dude, Death of X... You're right. The entire... Sean's right. The entire series, Death of X, didn't have as many murder, death, kills in it as this issue of Death of the Inhumans. They weren't joking around. Go Skittle. If She-Hulk and Thor is going to be a recurring romance, I hope so. That's awesome, man. Tommy, what's up, cuz? What do you think about the spoiler of Batman number 50? The way that worked, guys, if you don't know, is there is a special forum that DC puts up, and I didn't actually ask if Marvel does the same thing, but DC puts up a forum for just for comic book retail owners. So if you have a comic book store, then boom, you get to be invited to this group. You get to apply to be in this group where they will tell you a whole bunch of things coming up so you can try and plan accordingly. So if you want to do an event, a midnight showing or something like that, like, hey, this is going to happen coming up here, boom, boom, boom. So they, of course, dropped that spoiler a couple days before that they're not spoilers for Batman issue number 50 for a couple moments. I'll hold up my hand. That Catwoman and Batman are not actually going to get married. So, she's going to, like, ditch him. And it was really confusing how it happened, but whatever, it happened. So anyway, this guy who was a reporter for the New York Times wound up getting in on that group. And he'd been watching a bunch of things, and he saw that, and he was like, "Ooh, this is news. This is a scoop." Dirtbag. So he decides to go and report on that. So DC gets wind of this because, of course, all the other comic book, companies, they're putting this out. Like, I knew about that spoiler for X-Men Gold issue number 30 for several months now. And the guy who told me, who's another comic book reviewer, not going to say his name. He didn't say it's okay to say his name, but it's a he. Anyway, he didn't say anything. Like, we never said anything. We talked privately to each other. I don't know who else he told. I never told anybody else. It was just a private thing. You know what I'm saying? We just kept it because we wanted the experience. We wanted to see for ourselves, is it actually going to be good? I don't want to go and spoil it and ruin it for you guys and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then when I did, it was literally like, what was it? Like 3 days before the actual comic came out, I put up, hey, spoilers. Guess what? The spoilers, don't listen to this if you don't want to be spoiled, that this is what could happen. But I sat on that for months, like easily 2 months. And I didn't say anything about that. This guy goes and gets that, "Ooh, I'm going to spoil this." Mother fathead. That guy should be kicked right between the legs. Anyway, so this knucklehead goes and spoils that, and then immediately apologizes. "I should have maybe put spoilers on top if I would have revealed it all. I got a lot of hate mail." You deserve a hate punch in the teeth, okay? That's what you deserve. Not really. I'm not actually suggesting violence towards the person. Unfortunately, you got to say that nowadays. But the idea is, the guy's a jerk. Just hands down, that guy's a jerk. Anyway, so DC had to do damage control at this point and be like, okay, here's the thing, the spoiler's out. I'd rather you get it from here and not actually solicit this moron or all the other little comic books news reporting agencies. They're basically just websites. Like, websites are kind of archaic in some regards. Comic book news, media websites and stuff, they're kind of archaic in many ways, but it is what it is. It's getting there. So, yeah, bang, done. So that's actually how all that went. So, yeah, the spoiler for me was like, it is what it is. It is what it is. The guy was just a jerk. Suan, I love the family drama with Max. Though, and by the way, guys, I hope you guys are actually checking out Suan's website. I posted it in the Facebook group. She's shy, and I'm gonna make fun of her for being shy. Not really, but I'm gonna try and make her blush. And she's actually got a channel out. Suan, could you actually put it in the description, please? Like in the comments, what your channel is called. She's only got 2 videos up, and she's reviewing very archaic comic books. She just did The Weatherman, and she made a comment about throwing money at this guy and the stripper pole, like he was on a stripper pole or something like that. Anyway, she's not going to put it up now. But yeah, definitely check that out. I like the idea of having more people reviewing comic books. I like the idea of the information actually getting out and whatnot. That's some good stuff. So I love the family drama with Max, though killing off the Inhumans is not something I agree with. I'm not saying it isn't a great story with strong beginnings, but you can create the tension. I agree. Without killing them off, you ran out of space, obviously. I agree. Apparently, Lockjaw is not dead. Yes, because he's going to be in another comic book, I think, and he's definitely going to be in the TV series. I don't know. It is what it is. We'll see how that works out. But Sean, how powerful would a Hulk Asgardian child? Right? So, that's where trolls came from. Do you want trolls? Because that's how you get trolls. What do you call it? Ghost Skittle. Is that Anatomy of a Metahuman book cool? Dude, I didn't see that yet. But there's Dick Fomore was just talking about the Facebook group also. And I saw it in advance. I think Sean actually showed me the picture. And I looked it up, and oh my God. DC Comics is going to be putting out a book called The Anatomy of a Metahuman, where it's basically Batman's notes on all these different metahumans and what makes them them. So it's like about the DC universe from Batman's perspective. Holy crap! Do you want OMAC? Because that's how we get OMAC and Brother Eye. You know what I'm saying? That's where that stuff comes from. So sweet. I look forward to that. It's going to be about $50 hardcover. So yeah, I think I would probably buy that. Like, why the heck not? Dick Fillmore, I wrote a Star Wars rat parody of This Is America. Oh, and called it This Is Corellia. Yeah, I'm going to need to see that on the Facebook group. Sorry. Post it or it's not true. I think magic was... And everything just jumped. Comic Boom was just talking about you, dude, and the secrets that we kept about the wedding issue for X-Men Gold issue 30. There we go. Joe Fisher. I think Magic was jealous, if you asked me. No, I think that she was just making a really good question, or a really good statement, and she was right. But at the same time, she's also drunk, so she drank a little bit too much. I see Sue Ann crawling under a desk. Go Skittle. What show, new or old, do you want on DC Universe service? That depends, because I'm not happy with anything that DC is putting out as of late. I'm not impressed. I'm simply not impressed with anything that they've been putting out. It's all just kind of weak sauce to me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of almost want them to just stop and reassess themselves. You know what I'm saying? That being said, if they could actually get their freaking act together, Jack Kirby has the greatest universe in the fourth world, and all of the other stuff that he's done also. Why not have something like we were just talking about the Manhunter? Why not do the Manhunter? While we're talking about it, why not also do the Creeper from Ditko? These are characters that should be pretty easy to do on a very minuscule budget, and just put these books, put these books come to life as TV shows out there. I would love to see something like that. Some of the smaller characters, like the DC's version of the Defenders. I'm saying, let's see DC's street level heroes. They don't have too many. Just put them out there, And something else that I think that would be a really cool series potentially, just something about Cadmus itself. You know what I'm saying? Just put out, and the title could just be Cadmus with the, make sure it's an actual acronym with the periods in there, so that it's an acronym, full and true. Just put out Cadmus and just have some of the crazy things that they do. And of course, Sentry could wind up being in there. That's the yellow and blue guy with the shield, their version of Captain America. He could be in there as the main character. You're going to have visits, like cameos, in pretty much every single episode, or every, if there's a 2-episode tie-in, like these 2 episodes are related, have one character show up once in a while in there. You can have Grant Gustin's Flash show up in there once in a while. Have Green Arrow show up in there. I know his name. Sorry, I forget his name. I shouldn't forget his name. But I've got his face and everything, and the name is right there. Anyway, so have him show up. Stephen Amell, there we go. Have him show up. Just have a bunch of different characters show up once in a while and team up with Sentry. Like, he'll be the grounding of the show. Just all these crazy things. Dude, you can have Superboy being created in there. You can have them. You know what? Their big enemy that they're dealing with is Lex Luthor. And you can almost make it like a... like, I'm literally making all this stuff up right now out of my head, so it's very rough cut of my thoughts, but like Lex Luthor is a major opponent of these guys. While at the same time, you've also got Wayne Enterprises is a big problem for them, because he understands some of the problems that they have. He supports them, but he does so financially, so he has some kind of creative interest in what they do, but they're keeping secrets from him also, and he's not cool with that, so he's got to investigate his Batman once in a while. But you can have that, almost like a Gotham, a parallel of the Fox show Gotham, where it's just Bruce Wayne most of the time. Very rarely will you maybe see like a glimpse. The best Batman is the one that you don't see, where you just see like somebody moving in the shadows. It's like, Bruce Wayne says, I've got to find out, I've got to go a little undercover and see what they're going to do. And you literally, and while he's talking, you see a little flashes of him talking to Alfred or the boar holders like Lucius Fox, whatever. While he's talking, you'll see a couple little images of him in the shadows, or just some actor who's got the Batman cowl and cape on in the shadows, and you get little tiny glimpses of him. So it's like, holy crap, Batman is in this, but you don't really get a whole lot of Batman. Just enough to make you go, I need more! And that increases the demand, that increases subscription, because that increases people just screaming, that's what I want to see! So then you get more money for the show, and they can start sinking more money into the show so that they can make it more popular. I should be hired to do this fucking show. Anyway, so yeah, I would like to see stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see a rivalry with Star Labs. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see just all these crazy things that they're doing. I want to see them at one point say, okay, we're working on this project that happens, Project Doomsday, we're going to call it. You know, and just like, what? And just once in a while, boom. You see, like, I just want to see all that stupid stuff. I want to see all of it combined. And the Sentry is the focus of the show. He's the guy who's guarding. He's the guy. He's the man you got to go through to get in, so to speak. He's the one who's actually doing investigations outside of Cadmus. All these different projects. He's dealing with like Queen Consolidated, the Arrow show, and also he's the one dealing with all these other people on behalf of Cadmus. He's also the one who's questioning some of their activities and whatnot. I want to see Superboy show up in there. I want to see them actually creating the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor clone, Superboy. I want to see all of that stuff in this one show that DC has complete control over, and you actually have somebody intelligent, a Feige-like character, in charge of this, telling the writers, this is what I want to see, looking at the script and saying, shh, that's what I think of your stupid script. Write it better. And then walk away. I want to see somebody who could be mean and do stuff like that and make this an amazing show. That's what I want to see. That's what I would love to see. More than anything else, if they've got a subscription program where people who want to see what they're doing, instead of just people just like, oh, let's just turn the channel, oh, this is what I'm seeing. No. If you want Netflix, it's because you want Netflix. Nobody comes there for a TV show. Nobody signs on to Netflix to watch Orange is the New Black. They stay on Netflix because of Orange is the New Black and other shows like that it puts out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the deal. That's what they need to do. That being said, yeah. So, what is it? I hope I answered that, Ghost Skittle. Sue-Ann McGinnis. Oh man, you didn't want to talk to me while they were dropping down the Death of X storyline. I was so grumpy what was going on when they killed off Cyclops. The fangirl rage. It's a good way. I like it when they kill off characters once in a while, as long as they're going to bring back the character in a really grandiose way. Like if a character starts to get stale after a while, I want to see something crazy happen. You know, I want to see something really crazy happen. There are theories that magic is gay. I can believe it. From Sean. Maybe. I guess. She's dated people. I think Bobby's dated people. So, you know, I don't even care. Dick Fillmore. I believe they ruined Scott Summers with the 12 storyline when he merged with Apocalypse. Yeah. I actually don't. I think this is the first time I'm reading of that. The 12. It almost sounds like I should have read that. I can't remember reading that. Anyway, let's see. Victor, I just watched it. I'm not a fan of rap, but that was great. I told you, Rick. I'm not going to steer you wrong. Let's see. Joe Fisher, Sue-Ann, I'm a big Havoc fan. I didn't care what they did to him in Uncanny Avengers and the Axis storylines. I was hoping they would bring him back to himself down the road, and they did. I'm so happy. Yeah, I think they're doing a pretty good job with Havoc right now. Matthew Rosenberg is writing the... for crying out loud, my Discord is going crazy. They're talking about my Star Wars game that I'm in. Anyway, I still do role-playing games for Star Wars. I loves it. Okay, I seriously need that to turn off. It's so distracting. It's ridiculous. But, I'm going to kick somebody in the head. That's what's going to happen. Tony, you. There's another English company. I do English lessons in the mornings to try and supplement our income. And one of the things that we So anyway, there's another company that's been trying to schmooze me to come over to teach for them. It's like, so the guy actually just, oh, hey, happy birthday, man. Oh, that's going to make me want to come over to your company. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm live now. Stop it. So that just happened over on Skype. All right, so let's see. There's a good issue, Joe and Hank. About Hank. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Aaron Nardone. Hi, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the last time we saw Jor-El before Man of Steel, he got taken away by Dr. Manhattan or somebody? Yes, or somebody. They never explained it. Am I missing something? No, you are 100% correct. We don't know where he came back from. He was taken away. We all thought he was, dead, comic book dead. So, yeah, he just kind of came back out of nowhere, and there was no explanation for it. You're 100% right. That being said, I ain't mad. Alex Samuel. I don't think DC has anyone that teleports, do they? Unlike Marvel. Lockjaw. Well, everybody who has a mother box can teleport. In fact, they can boom tube. So there's that one. As far as actual teleportation, no. There's Raven teleports. Help me out, guys. Who else? In fact, you guys probably already, because this is actually a fairly older one. But anyway, yeah, all these guys. Who else teleports in the DC universe? I'm trying to remember offhand. I gotta switch gears to that. Anyway, I know Raven does, and anybody with a boom tube can do that. Do you think? Okay, so Thomas, what's up, Tommy? What do you think of Incredible Hulk and Superman fought? That's an interesting one because they're both kind of equals in many ways. I think that Superman, of course, is going to get outclassed in strength pretty soon, but Superman is more than just strength and vulnerability. But those are always cool. I'm usually not a huge fan of Superman's... When you've got a guy who's that strong, you've got to have him occasionally haul off and hit somebody. That's one of the reasons why looking back on it, wasn't as cool as the first time we saw it, but if you guys remember, people will always show that video, the short clip of the old Superman cartoon, the Superman animated half hour that used to come on back in the 90s, I believe that was, in the late 90s, back when the Batman animated series was on, the Superman animated series, where he's just like, oh, Darkseid, you look like, I've always got to hold back, always got to be careful for not breaking something or hitting something too hard, because I might break it, but you look like somebody who can take it. So he just starts hauling off and beating the living crap out of him. Yeah, Darkseid's not going to be punked out like that. 2, Superman, if he's going to beat up on somebody and not hold back, I think that he would do it a lot more than just that. He still looked like he was clearly holding back. That being so that's me looking back on it. But when it first came out, I'm just like, it's about time, because yeah, Superman does always have to hold back. People always do not understand fully just how strong he is. Superman is not an everyman character. Superman is the no-man character. Nobody can do what Superman can do. That's why when they make characters like Goku, they're made in the likeness of Superman. When they make characters like S.h.i.e.l.d, the One Punch Man, they're making them in the like of Superman. So when you're going to say, oh, Superman versus Goku or Superman versus S.h.i.e.l.d, there is no comparison. They're all three of them characters who were never supposed to be able to be beaten, but they were all also modeled 100%. If there were a mathematical figure of 110%, I would say that, but I'm never a huge fan of that because it doesn't make any mathematical sense in the comparison regard. You can't have somebody be more than one. Anyways, who cares? But the idea is they were 100% made in the likeness of Superman. So it is what it is, They should literally be like, here's my character. By the way, thank you, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster? Yes, Joe Shuster. Thank you so much, for giving me the inspiration to make Goku and the One Punch Man. That being said, Superman is more of a, I don't have to worry about being beaten up. So I can try and explore my human emotions, my Kryptonian emotions even. And I can try and deal with humans and try and be the observer. Like, I'm not from here. I'm from Krypton. And then when I grew up under the perfect, ideal, small town. Like Kansas is every man's world. That's where you're corn-fed, more like Nebraska, but still, you're corn-fed, Midwestern American town, like all the American wholesome values, like that's there. That's what that was supposed to represent back in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that came from. So then to switch that, and you say, here's this guy now who's just moved to the city, Metropolis, the biggest city in the world, and he's trying to understand all of these humans living together and all their squabbles, their loves, their hates, their likes, their dislikes, everything, all these problems that they have while being above all of that. And he's trying to understand that. That is an ideal Superman story. That is how you make the story that people who are fans of Superman say, that was good. It's nice to once in a while see Superman unleash and punch Darkseid, Doomsday, Mongol, some of these big guys, Zod. You know what I'm saying? Manchester Black, can't forget that. You know, like that was a good example of the first time at least. But Superman is more of the guy who he can't relate to what we petty mortals are doing. He, in the meantime, is trying to understand them, and he's trying to guide us to be better. It's like what Captain America does without necessarily getting his hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Captain America is more realistic, while at the same time, Superman is just that he's the guy who's kind of looking in. You know what I'm saying? He literally is our eyes. He's reading these comic books that are in front of us, and he's commenting on them. That's what a Superman comic book, in my opinion, is supposed to be. So as far as Superman versus the Hulk, I honestly don't care. It depends on who's writing them, but I hear you. That'd be fun. Sean, can you believe I'm the 6th member of the Astonishing X-Men? No, you're not. In fact, if you look on Twitter, okay, excuse me, Matt Rosenberg did that one, right? Yeah. Matthew Rosenberg actually said, you know what, Professor Bill, I was going to make you the 6th X-Man, and in the 9th hour, dude, like in the 11th hour, we decided to go a different route, and we went with Banshee instead. I'm sorry, dude. So, like, yes, I'm just saying, nice, but no. That was me. Nerd and Doug with Tower of Babel all over again. Yeah, that was such a, like, that's one of those stories that just sticks with you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Dick from, am I calling you a charlatan? No. Not me. Ghost Skill, I saw on Facebook last night that Jar Jar Binks actor almost killed himself. Yeah, my wife actually posted that. Ahmed Best was his name. That's the thing. Like, I grew up, me and my buddy Mark, we went and we saw, I think it was just me and Mark. I don't think his brother Chris went with us. I think it was just me and Mark. Yeah. We went and that Wednesday when it released, that Wednesday morning, I took off of work. He worked nights, so he didn't have to worry about that. And we, like a month in advance, we ordered 2 tickets each, one showing right after the next. So we didn't even have to get up. You know what I'm saying? To change our seats. We got up and changed our seats to get a little bit to find slightly better seats in the second one. But we were totally cool. We figured we're going to see it. We're going to see it twice. It's Star Wars. We haven't seen Star Wars in, like, you know, more than a dozen years. It was the first brand new Star. It was the 4th ever episode of Star Wars. Holy crap! And no, Battle on Endor doesn't count, and all those. Not in that regard. Okay, bring up the holiday special. I swear to God, there's going to be a beating. Anyway, so so we just watched, and it's like the movie was actually pretty good, but Jar Jar really brought it down. He really made the movie silly. We didn't like it. We hated Jar Jar, but we didn't hate Ahmed Best. You know what I'm saying? So like this dude's getting attacked. He's getting ripped apart by people. Like, dude, freaking bullies, cyber bullies, man. So him, the I forget what her name is, but the Asian actress from The Last Jedi, Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey in the 2 Last Jedi type movies, all those. Like, man, people are just wrong. And it's funny because, like, the so-called fans of Star Wars, in my opinion, are probably like the worst people on the face of the planet. I'm a fan of Star Wars. I like the movies, but I have the emotional stability, the maturity to separate the movie from the actors and actresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have the ability to separate the two. I'm not going to sit here and attack a director. You ruined my childhood. Shut up, man. If a freaking movie ruined your childhood, you need to climb back between your mother's legs and roast a little bit. Like, you need to cook a little bit longer. If a Star Wars movie made by Rian Johnson or whomever ruined your childhood, crawl back up, spread your mama's legs. I want you to get the image in your head. Crawl back in there. It's probably the only other time you'll ever technically get laid in the first place. I'm getting raunchy because you are an immature little dweeb. I got invited this one time to go onto a podcast to talk about the Star Wars movie, the recent Star Wars movie that had come out. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'd be happy to. I'll be one of the guys, it's like, we need some pros, we need some cons. And I missed it. It got delayed by an extra week, and then that next week, I was sick. I was sick in bed. I missed that, and I missed another podcast for a Marvel Face Rip game. They were going to talk about it. And that guy actually tried to rip me, tried to, accuse me of stuff and whatnot in private emails. It's like, dude, I want nothing else to do with you. You're done. I'm done with you, man. I value maturity more than I think anything else. You cannot know about a subject and still be taught, or even not taught. But if you're an emotionally stunted little prick, dude, it's time to just get off the internet. You're not ready yet. You're not ready. So these little punks that want to go and start harassing people from the comfort of your computer, come on, man. And there's the whole thing about down in your mama's basement and stuff like that. I don't care where they are. I don't care if they've got a good job as a freaking, whatever, just contributing to society and stuff like that. Somebody just went and pointed out to me, he's like, you didn't like this comic book, and you didn't start, ripping the writers and the artists, and you didn't start stabbing the comic with your finger and pointing at it, and you didn't rip the comic book and throw it and do stupid stuff like that. And I think most of us know who we're talking about that he was referencing to. It's like, wow, yeah, I'm going to stick around this channel. I appreciate that. So you can get mad about things, you get upset, but I get mad, I get upset, saying, I'll get in somebody's face if they infuriate me. I'm not like some, like zero testosterone. Heck no. It's just, you got to know when, you got to know how to control your rage. You got to know when anger is appropriate, when acting out on your anger is appropriate, when it's not, And when somebody's just, you're gonna bully somebody to the point where they're going to leave the social media and stuff like that. So now they can't enjoy social media because they don't want to be harassed by all of these immature little punks. Let's just be realistic for a second. Look, I don't know how many people have ever been in a real fight, but when you meet a person who doesn't talk, who's just smiling at you while you're talking a lot of trash, that person is probably going to one-shot you. You're going to fall down. Your jaw will be dislocated, if not fully broken. This is the kind of person who can hurt you, cripple you. The people who don't talk a lot. So the people who are sitting there like, oh, you're this and you're that, blah, 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 and you're really good at all those insults, which means you never actually took the time to learn how to actually fight, which makes you the biggest punk that there possibly is. I have zero, and I don't care if somebody's one of my subscribers. If you went online and you start, oh, you ruined my childhood, and you screwed up these great movies and things like that. I was invited to this one podcast. I'm so glad I didn't show up, because there's this one guy on there who sat there and he was visibly shaking. I swear to God, if I were there on the podcast and talking, I would have been making fun of this guy. I don't care. And this guy's fellow soldier like me. He was also an infantry soldier. He says he's a former infantry soldier in the Army, just like me. Cute, man, cute. So this guy is sitting there. They just ruined the movie, and they ruined the EU, like the expanded universe, and they ruined all this stuff. like this, I would have been like, dude, are you kidding me? Are you like, do you need some morphine? What do you need right now so you can calm down, dude? Holy crap! People would have been like, dude, Bill, don't, we're not going to insult each other. No, I'm going to insult him, dude. Are you at that level right now where you'd suck my for a shot? If I were to give you an EU book, I have several over here. I got Heir to the Empire and everything. If I were to give you some of those, would you give up a little? I'm just saying. You know, like that's what you look like right now. He looked like a crack fiend. He looked like what Dave Chappelle used to do on the Dave Chappelle show. Hey man, that's what he looked like. And I'm just like, you immature, you low IQ, zero EQ. Freaking retarded SOB. You look like an idiot. And I have zero patience for retardation of that level. That's like the grandiose level. Are you kidding me? Are you really that stupid that you're going to say, Rian Johnson ruined my Star Wars? You are a loser. I don't care what your job is. I don't care if you own your own company. I don't care if you're the freaking president of the United States. That was probably a step too far. But the point is, if that's your level of emotional maturity, you are an idiot. You are a loser. You are the slime of the earth. You know where we found you? At the bottom of the barrel, dude. That's what happened. And you literally need to crawl back into your mama and cook for a little while longer. I'll turn the temperature up a little bit more, right? Maybe we'll put you in the pressure cooker, you know, the slow cooker, because you, my friend, you are a loser. You are an immature, emotionally stunted little child. And I just want to... And if I had the tools, I'd breastfeed you too. You might get some hair in your mouth because I'm a guy. Like, unbelievable. And he won't know what that means. And I don't care. Oh, I served my country. You served your country as an infant. You served your country as an infant, because all that somebody would have had to do, all the people shooting at you, all somebody would have had to do was hold up, like, you know, the rebel flag and set it on fire, you know, like the Star Wars rebel flag, or like take a lightsaber and break it in front of you and you'd be like, I surrender, I can't take this anymore. You punk. You sissy. You crybaby little wuss. So yeah, I have zero tolerance for losers like that who are going to go online and start and this guy mentioned that, you know, oh, he likes to go and watch DNC's comic book stuff. Like, come on, man. That fits so perfectly with what I imagine the bulk of his audience is all about. It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. I don't care if somebody wants to, oh, that's not really fair. No, that's a 100% perfectly fair assessment, because that's my opinion on it. You don't like my opinion? So yeah, that's so ridiculous. People acting like that. That just makes zero sense, man. DDK Comics, RIP Steve Ditko. Precisely. What about CW's Black Lightning? What about it? Sue-Ann, also the name of the channel. Oh, the name of the channel of Sue-Ann's channel is Edge of Comics. There we go. Man's up from under the desk. CW's Black Lightning, I didn't actually watch it yet, which is a shame. Tony Isabella just talked to me recently about how he wasn't happy with the way that, what do you call it, the Hawkman, Shadow War of Hawkman was going, or went. This is back in like 85, 86, something like that. He was like, yeah, I would write an introduction to that, which is, you know, hey, this is what I wanted. But the afterword would be to make fun of DC Comics, the people who were in charge at the time, because they screwed everything up. It was supposed to be a 5-year run with an incredible story, and it wound up just being spurious little bits and pieces here and there for the Shadow War, and that would have been amazing, I think. Like, the Thanagarians coming down and trying to invade Earth. Like, that would have been sick. Like, the levels of infiltration would have been sick. That would have been great. And yeah, he's literally at the age where he just has 0 F's to give. Anyway, Tony Isabella is the guy who created Black Lightning, in case somebody didn't catch on to that. Steve Gorey, what's your Facebook group you keep mentioning I'd like to join? Comic Book University. It's a group on Facebook. You'll see a picture of me with one of these bandanas. I got a whole bunch of these black bandanas lying around. Here's one I didn't even put on yet anyway, and this is one I put on my kids. So these two I've never actually worn. My kids wore this one playing around, and I got a bunch in the laundry. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of these black bandanas. Saying around, but I'm in one of these, and I think I have my black Spider-Man shirt on, the black suit Spider-Man. Anyway, you'll see that. It's Comic Book University. Alex Samuel, the Reverse Nova. I love Marvel. I prefer them, but I'm sorry, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica all suck. What? No, they don't. As far as what Luke Cage and Jessica do behind doors, that I can't attest to. But Suran McGinnis, I agree. Sean, I agree. They will bring them back. The worst thing is, okay, you guys talking with each other. Break a bowl and then gives it to you. Mm-hmm. Comic Boom. I recommend listening to John Sultry's interview on Word Balloon of Mark Waid. Great talk on Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and a Project Archie 1941. Okay, John Sultry's interview on Word Balloon. Okay. You know what, Comic Boom? Can you actually send that to me? Send me the video if you can on Twitter, please. Consequences that make them less impactful. You ran, Sean. If you ran Marvel, which characters would you have had disintegrate and would have kept alive? Oh no, I don't want to get into that. That would depend on what my future. Like you're talking about having me have to try and think of like the future of comic books, the comic book movies at that point. I don't want to get into that right now, but. That would depend on what I wanted to do with them in the future. I think that it was impactful enough what they did. I think that was very impactful. Sean Sedrai. Speaking of Sean, can you believe Sean is back in Astonishing X-Men? I got to see how he's back. Because, yeah, he's not blue anymore. He looks old and decrepit and, like, life drained. Got to see what they're doing there. Joe Fisher. Professor Bill, the sad part, I liked Suicide Squad and Arrow better than the movie. That's actually a really good point. They had so much good going on there, and then the movie was about to be, sometime like 4 years in the future. We're thinking about making a movie, so Arrow, we're going to need you to stop doing the Suicide Squad. We just had Harley Quinn laugh. Yeah, sorry, can't, no, sorry. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, the Batman animated series is going to be on the service. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that other stuff there. The Simply Incredible Podcast. What's up, guys? Is it more than one? What's up? Alex Samuel. Marvel has been trying to do a Batman since the beginning of time, and Moon Knight is the closest, in my opinion. Yeah, in many ways. What do you call it? Nighthawk is supposed to be Batman also. That could work. The Chicago version could work probably better. Kyle, what's his name? Kyle Hill? Can't remember his last name right now. But anyway, that could work. Daredevil is a really good version of Batman, just without the cape. There's a bunch that they could do. We could just, really get into that. Yes, I did see Holy Banshee. Cyber 2G. Really? Just bounced down. Crap. Okay, well, that tells me I got to keep on going. No, here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey, Professor, what's your current opinion on Sideways? I like it. It's not the greatest, but they are trying to make it like old school Spider-Man from back in the early issues, the Ditko run. They're not doing a bad job at it. I'm loving it so far, and I find myself able to relate to Derek as we're very similar. He's easily become one of my favorite characters. Awesome. That's the thing. If they want to do Sideways, Spider-Man, right, what they need to do, in my opinion, is to focus more on more on Derek and less on Sideways. That's my opinion on there. I'd actually be okay with having no Sideways in a couple of issues, and I get that it's kind of early. Maybe that wouldn't actually be such a great idea. Not this early. But they've got to really look at how some of those older stories worked and really dig into it. His backstory, his history. They've already got an arc going with his mom, and I think it's too early for that arc. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see as it comes along. Also, rest in peace, Mr. Ditko. Truly a comic legend. Sad to see him go. No, Magic never actually dated anyone when you think about it. Sure. I think the robot Hourman could teleport. Oh, Doug. Good. Sandman could teleport. But all those, yeah. So the Spectre, he could teleport. Batman practically has teleportation. I mean, come on. Segment. Oh yes, the segment. Thank you for reminding me. but he's also susceptible to magic and kryptonite and the lack of a red sun. Yeah, they're just those are and there's like and which kryptonite, all the different kinds of kryptonite that there are. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different ways, but at the same time, those don't ever really affect him. You know, we're talking about Superman here. Those things don't really affect Superman. They're things to be temporary. Like in that one movie, Superman Returns, like he, a little bit of kryptonite in his kidney, and he still survives it. And then moments later, he's picking up an island, a continent made out of kryptonite, and flying it into space. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Is he really weak against kryptonite? Not really. Not really. I'm just saying. If somebody were to stab me in my kidney, there's a good chance I'm dead. It doesn't have to be a special anti-Bill dagger. You know what I'm saying? And this is a specifically anti-super. The only person on this planet that it can hurt is a Kryptonian. And since you're the only Kryptonian, in this movie at least, bang, gotcha. Nope, nothing. Did you end up watching Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream? Yes, I did, go Skittle, and it was effing amazing. I watched the whole show. Holy crap, that was amazing. Tommy, what do you think of Jim Lee being the new CEO of DC, and do you think he's going to change things around with better storylines than others? See, that I don't know. I don't know about his management technique. I never really got into his management style, I should say. So I don't know. I really don't have an opinion that would be informed on that. So I'd rather not actually get into that one. But that's a really good question. Which Ditko creation do you prefer, Question or Ted? Ted. Who's Ted? Which Ted? I'm thinking Ted Cord, but he didn't make Ted Cord. That was Garrison, or whatever his name is. Anyway, Question was a fun character. I'm trying to, who's Ted, Mark? 71 Bull Squad. Hello, Professor. Hello, everyone. Holiday special is a classic Bite Your Tongue Bill. Watch it go, Skittle. Kelly Marie Tran. Okay, that's the Asian lady from Last Jedi. Yes. I didn't have a problem with her character. I don't know what any of that crap was about. Red Black Kane 2099. Yo! He just got here. It's a disgrace that they found his body after 2 days. Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought that his mother was married. I thought his mother was married. What the hell did I just say? Well, I read Dick Fillmore on there, and back from Facebook, mic drop. Okay, so I guess you just posted stuff on Facebook. Awesome. Yeah, I'll go and look at that after this. Anyway, I thought that he was married. I thought that his wife was still alive. I could have sworn his wife was still alive, so I wonder, what's going on. I don't know who was there. I didn't read any of those news reports. Not interested. I just heard that he was dead. I was like, damn. So anyway, yeah. I don't know. That is what it is. Plus, the guy was a private person. If you're a neighbor and you knock down his door, there was a neighbor who knocked down his door and said, "Hey, I've got your mail. It came to my apartment. It came to my box by accident." He took it and he closed the door. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be bothered by anyone. So yeah, of course, they're not going to find his body. My skills are trash talking or Bruce Lee Art of Fighting without fighting level. Nice, dang. I had those all those small handbooks and the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I had all of those. Yeah, love those. Good. Let the hate flow through you, boy. Everybody's going epic rant. New beer drinking game. Oh no! Stop! Crap. Here we go. New beer drinking game. We all must drink every time Professor calls somebody an idiot. Oh, man. And Comic Boom is going to be the bartender. It's going to be like, we take tips. Look at the big bourbon sifter. Just saying. That'd be great. Could there be a Hawkman that's a new god? Ooh, Sean is thinking on that one. Nice. Contact Venditti. Point that out, dude. Joe Fisher. He'd probably be one of the foot soldiers, though. Anyway, who would have been killed. He might have been a bug, in fact. I watched Jessica Jones for her friend Patsy Walker. Yeah, I like the idea that she's going to eventually become Moon Knight. Hellcat. That would be awesome. Welcome back. Oh, Edge of Comics. What's going on, dude? Bow, 1985. Wow, you remember Epic Illustrated with Bucky Rabbit and still have the first 4 issues. Huh? Okay, I really lost that one. Sorry. I'm sorry. Alex Samuel, I'm sorry. I don't remember that one. Or I don't know right there. I think I missed something. Red Black Cane 2090. Of course it's going to jump. Kyle Richmond, I see below. Who just said that? Nerder Doug. Thank you, dude. Thanks. I've been here like 15 minutes, though. Segment. Yes, I'll do it. Just wanted to welcome you. Okay, cool. Okay, also, Death would have been able to teleport for her job. Well, I was thinking to say Death with Sandman. I figured that was like a given. But yes, you're 100% right, Edgy Comics. EOC. Ooh, something is EOC. Something has that initialization, EOC, and I can't remember what it is. Darn it. Anyway, Flash can run so fast that it's almost... yeah, oh, I don't know why I didn't even think about that, Sean. You're right. That practically is teleportation. If Keanu Reeves could play any Marvel or DC character, who would you pick? Oh, he already played John Constantine. And while it wasn't really John Constantine, it was still technically John Constantine, so there's that. To play a different one, I don't know. I don't know about the casting choices. I try not to go too into that. Sean, got to go eat with friends later to do the segment. I got the phone. I'd like to see Keanu as Doctor Strange. Okay. Would a Uncle Ben Spider-Man be cool? It would be the Thomas Wayne. Nice. It's me, Bill, your student, Suan. Just discovered a cool way to confuse Bill. Oh! Yeah, you did. Yeah, I was actually a little confused there. Okay, yeah, I get it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember there's another guy who does comics and... okay, anyway, okay. You know what? Fine, you got me. Congratulations. Ugh. Yes, been waiting for this one from Professor Bill. Such an incredible comic and expensive. Oh, thank you for the reply, Doug. Let's see. We have a comic sense. I'm getting caught up on a Hickman finally. Okay, Subam Argwal. Sorry, I can't read that right now. I have to remember to go back and read that. Okay, so let's check out this segment here. All of my private, shoot, what I got here? All of my private Twitters are from like comic book creators. I got Sean Isaacs, Jim Zub, Comic Boom, Comic Joe, and Sean s.h.i.e.l.d. are in there. Oh, a little bit of Victor, and like Dennis Hopeless, and he's got all these freaking like comic book creators. And then, but like I got the most from Sean s.h.i.e.l.d. So that's always funny to me. All right, so let's jump in here and. For some reason, I went to the bottom. Can you guys read that? Because that's freaking hysterical. I'm dying at that. Happy birthday, gorgeous. May your birthday cake be moist. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that my wife doesn't get me a birthday cake tomorrow. Not a huge fan. Oh, shoot. Fantastic Four #1 variant. Okay, so I knew that... what's his face? Oh, what the hell is his real name? Stanley Lau, I think is his name. Art Germ was doing a variant comic, 2 variant covers for the Fantastic Four. He's doing the Human Torch, which looked amazing, and he's doing the Thing, Ben Grimm, which looked pretty damn good also. And somebody from Gotham Central told me that he was also going to be doing Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, and I didn't see those yet. Well, this looks like it's a Stanley Lau. This looks like it's an Art Germ of Mr. Fantastic, and oh man, that just looks sick. That is awesome. Good find, Sean. Hope you got the Invisible Woman somewhere in here too, because that'd be kind of cool. Superman 6 cover looks like Superboy has been affected by the Dark Phoenix. So we'll see what happens there. What? Oh, no. What is this titled? No, just titled that. Infinity Wars #1, a variant cover. Look at that. Look what it's called. Ghost Panther. Are you kidding? He's riding a panther, a fiery Hellfire Panther. Holy crap. Multiple Man. What's this? Infinity War. Oh, the Arachnite. That's going to flip. Yeah, I knew that was going to flip. He sent it sideways, so it's going to flip. Oh, actually, he sent it straight, but Anyway, if I turn it, it's going to flip. I'll do it quickly. Yeah, you only get it for like a second. Sorry. Anyway, the arachnid spider. So there's going to be a lot of amalgamations in there. So, yeah. I don't know about all that. Okay, Death of the Inhumans 2. Another Fantastic Four variant. They've got more than 20 variants for Fantastic Four. I think that's disgusting. Personally, I think that's disgusting. Adventure of Super Sons variant. Awesome. Really looking forward to seeing that. That's like the last one that Sean sent me. So, bada bing. He's going somewhere with friends. So, have a good one, dude. Thanks for sending me all the good stuff. Always appreciated. What is this? And Comic Boom just sent me the link also. So, cool. And he's typing. I'll look at that in a second. Okay, so. Bada, 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 bang. What do we got there? Alex Samuel, Epic Illustrated Graphic Books from Marvel put me out in the 80s. They were released by Seasons. Sue Ann is making fun of me again. I'm undecided about reading Fantastic Four. Oh, no. At least grab the first issue and see if you're going to like it. We'll see him. I'm leaning towards yes. Yeah, definitely go for a yes. Red Black Kane 2099. I'm really sure that they're going to kill Kane in the upcoming Spider-Geddon event. They better not. Yeah, see, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about in the chat, Red Black Kane, but I didn't want to get into spoiler section. It's all speculation. I don't know anything. Go Skittle. Yes, of course I'm going to watch the heck out of Justice Season 3. Come on, man. Don't ask me silly questions. Yes, I will watch the heck out of that. Probably more than once, which will kill my... I'm going to have to have the comic books and watch it at the same time, because I got a lot of comics to read. Anyway, yes, listen to your comic habit. Okay, shoot. So Comic Boom was actually sending me a really good... Go and scroll up and check out that thing that he was just talking about. Comic Boom just sent me the link to see this thing, and he's saying that if you actually like comic books, you're going to need to... Oh, shoot, sorry, Sean. Also, just, ba-ching! The eye sees everything. Anyway, yeah, I was going to talk to you about that a little bit. Ghost Skittle. We can talk about Ghost Skittle. Red Black Kane. Yeah, I have a feeling that they might be killing Kane also. Just something to be like, hey, check it out, man. Like just something to be a little bit edgy, which I don't know. I don't know how this Spider-Geddon stuff is going to go. I'm usually not a huge fan of these like Marvel's just been doing way too many crossover and tie-in and event story, and it's like I'm afraid to not read them because I'm afraid one of them might not be good. But it's going to get to the point where more people are just leaving it to people like me who get the comic books for free anyway, and then they'll listen to the reviews as opposed to actually buying them and checking them out for themselves. And I'm really afraid stuff like that's going to wind up happening. I feel like Marvel's just doing a bit too much. They've already got too many comic books out as far as I'm concerned. You can look at it as too many choices, sure, but you can also look at it as, dude, you're not even really checking to see if the comic's going to be good. That's not editing to just say, yeah, sure, we're going to approve this comic book. Go ahead. We'll give you 6 or 8 issues or 12 issues, whatever, to see if it's going to actually sell or not. And then, after 6 issues, oh, it failed, no good, take it down. 8 issues, no, it failed, no good, sales are low, take it down. Why don't you check the stuff out in the first place? Why don't you maybe pay your editors a little bit more? Nobody's going to complain about that, right? And see if they're actually... Consider your hiring practices a little bit better. Something. Stop just throwing comic books. That's literally the shotgun method. You know what I'm saying? It's you throw all the crap against the wall, see what sticks, and then try and do more, like, try and find more that's like that consistency, and then throw more against the wall. And you're just constantly throwing crap against the wall to see what sticks. And that's unacceptable. That's not a good business practice. The moist cake joke. Go Skittle. What is the Spider-Geddon? Is it involved with the main series? I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a tie-in. I don't actually know what it is, though. Who's going to write Fantastic Four? Chip Zuck or Dan Slott? No, Dan Slott not only is going to be writing it, he's already written it. When Marvel decided to bring back to the Fantastic Four. They're like, hey, we're taking open casting to see who wants to write for it. And I was really hoping that Chip Zdarsky was going to get it because I talked to him in person, and he is, like, Victor was there with me when I was actually talking to the guy, and he is, like, he's the biggest fan of Fantastic Four you can imagine. He said, that's the series I want to write for more than anything else. I would give up Spider-Man in a heartbeat to start writing that, just whatever. That's my favorite comic book of all time. I can't pick a favorite out of those four. They, as a whole, are my favorite superheroes. So that was, like, really intense. He was really into it, and, like, I believed him when he was saying it. But when they were doing the shopping, Dan Slott was like, I would like to write it, and I've already got, like, the first 40 issues. I don't know what the actual number was, but knowing Dan Slott, he wrote the first 40 issues. Again, I shouldn't really be getting numbers in your head and, like, giving you a false number. I don't know how many issues he wrote, but he already wrote a bunch, from my understanding, a whole lot of issues in advance before he ever got the deal. Before he knew that they were actually going to do it, he's just like, yeah, let me just write a bunch of scripts for Fantastic Four. Let me write these all out in full proposition form and everything, so that you can literally just hand them over to an artist and then start getting the comic book made. So it's Dan Slott. We know that he's going to be writing some really amazing stuff. It's going to be kind of cutting edge, and he's already written them. So yeah, of course he was going to get it over Chip, which is, that's messed up, man. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, dude, I don't want to say the better man won, but the more prepared man certainly won. You know what I'm saying? Like Boy Scout, always prepared, right? Dan Slott was Boy Scouted like crazy. So, Edge of Comics hides her romance novels and Archie comics to keep her street cred. As far as Archie comics, yeah, I never really got into the Archie comics. I like the Bazooka Joe stuff and the Bubblegum way back in the day. I like those. As far as the romance books, I've read a couple of romance books just to try and get it. I didn't know if I was going to write for something like that at one point or another. I thought about it. I'm just like, no. So I don't even count the Harlequin novels. I don't count those at all. But yeah, I used to read regular novels a lot more than I read comic books before. But now with the channel, I've got, like, Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules sitting on my bedroom desk, my bedroom dresser, you know what I'm saying? And I still haven't picked it up. I've had it for a week now, so I got to get around to that one these days. I really want to read that. Editors should totally get paid more, especially nerditors. Nerditors should totally get paid more, Doug. Alex Samuel, hell, I wish they would stop doing that with American cars. Oh, just throwing out? Yeah, planned obsolescence. Look it up. It's one of the terms I had to learn in marketing, and it's ridiculous. It's redonkulous, in fact. Nothing wrong with nerdrotica. You know what? There's this one that was done with elves, like an elves erotica that is being sold on Amazon, and I was hoping for it to come to actual print one day, because I want to try and get away from my computer and read regular books and not read stuff. And, you know, all the news articles I read are on my phone or on my computer. And I want to try and get away from staring at the freaking computer for so long. And meanwhile, I'm here talking to you guys. Oh, my God. EOC, Suan. I agree, Bill. Marvel has a really strong brand. They need to capitalize on that, have editors that are passionate about the projects and know their lore. Yes. I love the Betty and Veronica love triangle. I was totally team Betty. Really? I always, you know what? I don't know enough about it. And I never watched Riverdale, but I hear you. You did. Ghost Scale didn't like the first issue of Tony Stark. Well, you are an audience of one, my friend, because I think everybody else liked that, like, a lot. Also, really quick, I want to throw this out there. He never comments, but he should. In the meantime, Gerald Gansar. Can't pronounce your name the right way, right? What do you call it? I put out a message on a Facebook group where we look for the different characters and whatnot, the different Build-A-Figures, the different, you know, the characters. I'm going to be using a lot of these in an upcoming Marvel Face Rip group game. Not just game, but an actual, Captain Britain, in a Face Rip explanation video. And I have had I'm missing the right arm on the Lizard, which is a recent one I've been looking for, but I've been missing the right arm on Abomination for a long time. I've got all of the Abomination. Victor's probably like, yes! And I've been missing his right arm for a long time. So I finally decided, let me look up and see, does anybody actually have the right arm for Abomination? This came with that Captain America that has the shield that has a little swirly, throwy line on the back, which didn't look great. I didn't buy it because I thought, first off, there's too many Captain Americas out there in the figure industry. But anyway, I've already got one. I'm very happy with that one. I don't need any other ones. The Cap Wolf was very tempting, but I chose against it. Anyway, so, and check out Tilda Johnson, explain 10 things about Tilda Johnson. She was actually, I don't know if you guys know that, the Deadly Nightshade from the, if you didn't read or watch that 10 Things About, Deadly Nightshade from Luke Cage series. There was a different version of her in the Black Panther movie, which she wasn't even named, except in the end credits. She didn't have a speaking line or anything. But she's actually the doctor who caused Captain America to become Capwolf in the comic books way back in the day. Was that issue 402 of Captain America? Yeah, that was her. She's the one with the werewolf serum. That's hysterical to me. Anyway, so this guy Gerald, he has the right arm, and I just put out a general message, under my regular Facebook identity, just my name, Duh Bill. I just put up Duh Bill, the Bill, but I'm Duh Bill. Anyway, duh. So he commented back, yeah, I've got it. And I was like, okay, let me know what you want to trade and whatnot. I'll go and grab all of my BAF pieces, my Build-A-Figure pieces, and put them together and everything. He's like, no, that's okay. I'll just mail it to you when I get back from vacation. What do you call it? I'm a big fan of Comic Book University. I was like, oh crap, because I don't advertise myself like that. I just, on Twitter, I'll put up my stuff. I barely promote my stuff on Facebook anymore. I put my stuff out there, and if you find it cool, if you don't, whatever. But I'm just not into the whole, hey, look, commercial. You know what I'm saying? It's weird for me. But this guy recognized me, by my regular screen name also, which is cool. And yeah, awesome. So he's going to send that to me for free, which is freaking cool. That's really cool. Also, he's from west of Windsor, so he's really kind of far. So I don't even know what the shipping is, but yeah, again, brother, if that shipping comes back to bite you, let me know and I'll send you something. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me what I got to send you. But that's awesome. So shouting him out totally for hooking me up with the right arm of Abomination. I will be doing that video talking about punching and kicking and scratching and all sorts of crazy things in the Marvel Face Rip game, how to resolve that stuff with an actual live drama played out, these guys fighting each other thing. Anyway, always trying to improve my videos. Crap. Okay. Oh, PA Stewart is back. Where the heck did you go? She was here in the beginning, and she was like, yeah, I'm out. Okay, so let me finish this up so I can leave, go and spend some chill time with my wife. Excuse me. Sue Ann likes the Betty and Veronica love triangle. Betty was obviously better comic boom. Oh, these guys are be nice. I'm attracted to Peach. Oh man. Okay. What is Captain Britain up to these days? Captain Britain recently was in the one of the X-Men Gold comics, and he wasn't really doing too much. He just had a baby with Megan, and the baby is like a super genius of sorts. So that's really all that's happening with him. He's got a really messed up beard, looks like mine, or just like, I at least brush it like this. I don't actually use a comb to brush my beard. I just do this, and he apparently doesn't even do that. He's just kind of like, hey. Edge of Comics, White Queen is catnipped to you, isn't she? That's funny. That's funny. PA Paula, gone nearly 2 hours and you're still going strong. Not bad for an old dude. I don't care about that old stuff. I think most people know that by now. Whoa, what just happened here? Red Black Kane. They better give Kane the best death in all history, because then Ultimate Spider-Man better than the sacrifice of zombie Spider-Man, better than Superman, better than everyone, better than Captain America? I don't know, dude. I like me some Kane too, but I don't know. I'm hoping that it's one of those deaths where he just does something really heroic. Because I know that you're reading the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider stuff, and when they recently had that little jilt between between Ben Reilly and Kane, he's like, "Wait a second, you got your face healed by Mistress Death because you're doing good things? I've always been doing good things, so that's not fair." Like, and I'm still all sorts of messed up. So you know what I think the best death for him would be? Is if they gave a good reference to the comic and he did something ultimately self-sacrificing. And as he's laying there dying, and like maybe the other people can't get to him or something like that, Mistress Death just kind of appears over to him like a glimmer, and then we see all of his wounds heal. And then she disappears and he's dead. Or we see her walking with him. That would be awesome. Damn, I'm getting choked up thinking about that. That would be effing awesome. That would be a good death. That reminds me of the end of what was that Brad Pitt movie? Crap. Dick Fillmore knows this movie. I'm positive he does. What the hell was the name of that movie? Where he's playing the guy who just rebelled against everything. It was the last movie he had where he had long hair before he did that movie Seven. How do I not remember the name of this movie? It was an amazing movie. Anyway, where at the end he died fighting the bear, and the Native American who was quoting it was like, "It was a good death." Like, damn, that's a good movie. That's a great ending to a good movie. Damn. So that's what I would like to see. Ghost Skittle. I had an idea of something cool you could do, Bill. There are videos on all the voices of certain characters. And, oh good, it didn't jump. In movies and games, and you could react and say if you like or dislike them. Hold on a second. Idea of making something cool you could do. So there are these videos of all the voices of certain characters in movies and games. You should react and say if you like them or dislike them. Okay, I hear what you're saying, the reaction ones. I have a problem with that in the sense that I already review movies and comic books, and I feel, like I said, I feel bad saying negative things about comic books. You know what I'm saying? About people's hard work actually writing things. If I feel like they just didn't try, like, I don't have too much of a problem, saying things like, what the hell's his name? John Romita Jr. It's like John Romita Jr. doesn't care. I'm not making that up. He stated unequivocally he doesn't care. He doesn't care if you like his art or not. He knows that he used to draw a lot better. He knows that he can still draw better. He doesn't care. He doesn't get paid for drawing well. He already made his name, and he doesn't care. He just wants to make money. He gets paid by the comic page that he draws, not by how good people like the comic. That's reprehensible in my mind as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't draw anymore, not really. In my mind, that's just such a disgusting thing to say. You have no respect for the medium. You have no respect for your skills as an artist. You have no respect for the actual profession of art, the art itself of drawn art. So, like, dude, what are you even... I don't know why people buy his stuff, man. Like, that's how I feel about it. I don't know why people buy his stuff. When he says things like that... that's just... So him, I don't have a problem saying things like that about, because he's already said that about himself. All I'm doing is parroting what he said. And then commenting on his art in that regard. But, yeah, I feel bad. Like, oh, this guy's voice, I don't like his voice too well. It's hard being nice when you're criticizing something, but... Good night. See you later, Alex. They have Marvel and DC, but about that... Oh, crap, what's going on? What is this? Ryber runs through it. Legends of the Fall. Thank you, Dick. I knew that Dick would know that one. That's DiCaprio and The Revenant. No, different one I'm thinking. Oh, Meet Joe Black. Oh, you're actually throwing a whole bunch out there. Selena's hotter than the White Queen. I might have to agree with you. Plus, we know that Selene goes back and forth. White Queen goes back and forth. Anyway, yes, Legends of the Fall. That was the movie. That was the movie I was talking about. Such an absolutely amazing movie. God damn, that was a good movie. I could watch that again. Such a great flick. I remember people were like, don't watch it, Bill. It's a chick flick. I'm like, okay, whatever. And when I was young and, had to be the masculine machismo dude, I don't watch chick flicks. When I got older, I'm just like, I'm going to watch this stupid movie. And I was like, oh my God. Who was it who told me? I think I know the guy. I think his name was Charles. And he told me it was a chick flick. I should go back and find him and just punch him in the mouth, man. Like, I was so mad that somebody actually turned me off of that movie. That was a great movie. People, man. People. Anyway, plus Julia Ormond was in that movie, man. Oh, God, she was gorgeous in that movie. That and Excalibur. You know what I'm saying? Those two movies, or whatever. Last Night, it was actually called. Last Night with Charles Connery. Charles Connery? Not Charles Connery. Sean Connery and Richard Gere. Yes. Really good flick. Who isn't... the age of Celine and all that. Plus Bill, I said I would be brave enough to show my channel in his chat, so I couldn't prove him right. Gotta keep up that comic gal cred. There you go. Can't recall whose birthday is coming up on the 10th. Happy birthday, dude. Unless it's Sue. Sexist comic book characters in Hellfire Club. Jean Grey as the Black Queen. Yeah, when they were saying there's like, oh, if you're in the Hellfire Club and you're a woman, you got to be leather bound. Like, come on, man. Come on. But that was also back during the time in the comic books where, like, rape culture was common. Like, I felt uncomfortable reading this stuff, and I was just a teenager at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mockingbird and all the crazy stuff, like Barbara Gordon. I know people are going to sit in and say, well, technically she didn't. Whoa, dude. You don't have to defend a comic book, man. You don't have to defend a comic book or a character or whatnot. Some people took it as she did get raped. Some people took it that she didn't get raped. John Byrne doing the whole thing with Big Barda. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put her in a porn movie. You put Superman in a porn movie too, but it's like you're discrediting a woman. Remember, back in the day, even today, there's a lot of people, and sorry, but these people are on the right. You know what I'm saying? They're not on the left. And I've got problems with both sides. I'm in the middle with my middle finger pointed to both of them. But like the people on the right especially, oh, women need to be pure. If a woman is, has sex, then she's busted. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she's not married to that guy. No, she can only be with one person her entire life. Guys can do whatever they want, though. Well, then who are they doing it with? Either bad women or other guys. So what the hell sense does that make? I remember making the joke one time. I loved the women's lib movement, man. Women were allowed to go out and have sex, and that benefited me. So I got no hate, man. I love the feminist movement. More. We need more women power. That's what we need. We need more women's lib. So anyway, and of course there are going to be the people on the right. Oh, so you're all for abortion? No, dude, just stop. No, it doesn't have to go anywhere near something like that, dude. Young Jean Grey is thick. Young Jean Grey looks good. Yes, it was Joe Fisher. Okay, there we go. Okay, so look. Okay, yeah, that annoys me, the double standard with women regards to sexual identity. All I'm saying, look, here's all I'm going to say about the idea of being, because I'm not a woman, clearly. I could not truly, like, I can empathize, which is better than sympathize, but I can't, it's hard to sympathize because I don't know what it's like. But what I can say is, reading holy books, pretty much any holy book that you want, reading constitutional documents, parliamentary documents, reading history books, talking to women, all sorts of things like this, and just recognizing, like knowing a woman's place in life is, and a man's place in life is, like it's okay for a man to get some on the side, but as long as a woman doesn't, because, and then reasons. I'm personally of the opinion, I could not imagine living in a life where people were constantly telling me what to do. You dig? I couldn't imagine somebody telling me, you have to dress like this, because if you dress like that, you're a bad person. The worst that I got growing up as a male, as a guy, growing up with dressing myself was self-imposed. I was young, and I knew that wearing comic book t-shirts And there weren't even that many comic book t-shirts out when I was a kid. Wearing a comic book t-shirt could get me into an unnecessary fight, or would get me into, people talking trash about me behind my back, people making fun of me, people calling me a nerd. And it's like, when I was growing up, you couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons. You couldn't read comic books. You couldn't do those things because you were classified over here. I was able to walk that line that people knew that I was into superheroes. They didn't know most people didn't know I had a comic book collection. I could tell you about, like one of my favorite stories is that, me and my buddy Terrell, one of the only guys in the school that was bigger than me, like dangerously bigger than me, we got into a fight in the lunchroom where there may have been involved him throwing a chair at me and then me charging after him and grabbing him by the throat. That may have been involved, not important. The idea is that we were both thrown into 1 day of in-school suspension. That's what counts. And then while we were young, we had a lot of testosterone flying. Anyway, while we were doing our thing, we were sitting, and we wouldn't sit next to each other in the in-school suspension. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden he sits next to me. I turn around, I'm like, this motherfucker. I like turn around a little bit. I turn away from him. Like I was being like a little bee. You know what I'm saying? I was being a little bee. I turn away from him a little bit, and he puts he's just sitting there. He's looking at me, and he pulls his backpack up and puts it on the table. I just kind of look. Then he opens it up and lets some things fall out. I turn around and look, and there were sex toys. No, they were not sex toys. They were X-Men comic books. And I was just like, you had me at uncanny. That Jerry Maguire wasn't actually at the time, but if it were, I would have totally said that to him. I was just like, all right, man. we fist bumped it and we were cool. It's like, yes, we've got the comic books to bond over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a big black dude. Like, I'm 6'5". He was easily an inch taller than me, and he was bigger than me, much, like, physically bigger than me. And, like, as a black dude, he had certain expectations he had to live up to. He's a big black dude. If people found out that it was bad enough that he hung out with a white guy. Granted, it was me, and I grew up in Asbury Park. Like, I was one of 6 white kids in the entire school. That includes the females. And I'm talking about the entire school, and that's just my grade. So, like, with Bill, it was okay, but can't be hanging out with, too many white guys because you got a rep to, uphold. A big, strong, tough black dude. On top of that, if they would have known that he liked comic books, holy crap, he would have gotten eaten alive. So, like, that was a huge bonding thing between he and I, that he liked comic books, that I liked comic books, that we could, share our love of comic books and talk about storylines and characters and who would win in this fight and things like that with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a huge bonding moment for us because it was a closely guarded secret. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the worst that I had it as a kid. But actually being told, you can't dress like that. You can't talk like that. You can't keep those friends. Those are untrustworthy. I couldn't imagine living my life constantly under the thumb of everyone's scrutiny imaginable. And I'm talking grandmas, too. Not just guys, but everybody. If something happened... The victim blaming. Nobody is victim blamed more than a woman, in my opinion. If a woman gets sexually accosted or something like that, if a guy walks up and kisses a woman for congratulations, how dare he go and do something like that? It was just on the news recently. Women, guys and girl reporters being kissed, during the World Cup. Say, oh, my team won, mwah, and all this crazy stuff. It's like, you weren't invited for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it was the clothes you were wearing. That's what caused it. Like, hold on a second. It's my fault that this dude came up and made a move on me? Like, I could not imagine having that level of blame constantly put on top of me. I can't imagine that. I can empathize and say, I'm so sorry that crap happened, but, like, I don't have that kind of life experience to say, yeah, man, I know what you mean. I just look at it as, that is effed up. And that's, like, call me an SJW. Here's the trick. Say it to my face, kiddo. What do you call it? But the idea is, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I could not imagine living my life like that. All right, let's jump over here. Ghost Kiddo with the sex toys. How tall are you? I am 6'5", and I've been 6'5" for a really long time. When I was a freshman in high school, I think I was 6'1", and I was like 150 pounds in freshman year, the end of my freshman year. Yeah, I just got to like 155 pounds. I gained 5 pounds by going to the weight room all the time. Mind you, I wasn't trying to bulk up. I was trying to go for the Bruce Lee physique because I was in track and field. At first, I was trying to bulk, but then the track and field team recruited me. Like, you're tall. Why are you trying to get big? You know, I was like, you're big enough. No, you need to go for track and field. What are you better at, sprinting or cross country? I'm a long distance guy. You're on the cross country team. All right, cool. Then shot put and discus. Are you good at javelin? No, I suck at throwing things. Okay, here you go. You're on track and field. No javelin for you. Discus and shot put. So that's what I did. But yeah, man. Tried out for the football team. Got in trouble on the freaking football team. I'm just saying. I don't understand. You put the freaking guy. That guy had the ball, or he was going after the guy with the ball. I put the guy on the ground. What's it matter how I put the guy on the ground? It's called judo. Anyway, yeah, I got in trouble on that. So I wasn't allowed. I didn't make the cut for the football team. Okay, there's a lot there, so I'm going to try and go down a little bit more. What the frick is going on? People saying that they're a helicopter? The standards, yeah, okay, let's go down here. Had to do with Bill, it was right there. Oh, the sex toys thing. Yeah, I made a joke about sex toys. Anyway, Paula, this is the thing that bugged me when I was a kid reading comic books, that the girls or gals always had to be saved from something. Yeah, that was actually one of the... I believe it was the first comic book, actually, like not a cartoon on TV, superhero cartoon, but an actual physical comic book that I read. Mind you, when I first got comic books, I was still, a young Jersey boy at the time, and my dad, my dad had a side job someplace working at like a newsstand, and he got like stacks of comic books with the covers ripped off, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the cover of the comic book actually was, but I do remember one particular, and if anybody remembers this comic book, please tell me what comic book that was. I would love to be able to read it again from an adult eye. But I remember reading this one Superman comic book, and it had Superman and Wonder Woman in it. And at one point, there was a problem like with a volcano. A volcano like exploded, and Wonder Woman, the other W character, she was too close to it, and the thing exploded, and she got caught in it. And she was okay, but her clothes were completely destroyed. So Superman flew in and grabbed her barely conscious body, wrapped his cape around her, and then flew away. And it was very sexual. And I was 7 or 8 years old. And I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm looking, and I was kind of young, but I'm just saying there was some fishy movement in my pants, and I'm just like, wow. But at the same time, I'm thinking... Isn't Wonder Woman as strong? Because I've seen Challenge of the Super Friends, the cartoon, and all those other ones, and she's as tough as Superman. I never got the impression that she was any less tough than Superman. I also wondered why the heck she needed the invisible jet when she could clearly fly. Later on, I saw Linda Carter one. I was like, oh, I guess she can't fly. Maybe I made a mistake. And I didn't realize that there was no continuity between cartoons and TV shows. There's no continuity in comic books anymore, for crying out loud. So anyway, that was just the development of my young mind being fashioned into comic books. So... yeah, I was like, why did her clothes get ripped off and not Superman's? You know what I'm saying? Why is he saving her? Like, she should be able to take I don't know, maybe a volcano is really that powerful? I don't know, but like, Wonder Woman's really effing tough. Why is she being saved? That doesn't, like, are they falling in love? What happened to Lois Lane? Because I know that if I can imagine little Lois sitting down there looking up and saying, that's messed up, divorce. You know, they weren't married at the time, but you know what I'm saying? That's not cool. If anybody knows that one, please let me know. True X-Men comic can bring about world peace. They could, and I would love to see that one day. If they actually got some kind of acknowledgement. That's the thing, man. I could imagine if I didn't grow up with comic books, because I definitely apply my inclusivity mindset to having read so many comic books, especially X-Men comic books. But reading comic books and just not getting the idea, plus also my environment. I didn't grow up in like predominantly white neighborhoods. I never grew up in that, mentality. So I grew up understanding black people, Haitians, and Puerto Ricans, very specifically, of the Latino community. Like I just grew up in like understanding like customs and like the different ways that they would celebrate Christmas, and like all the holidays, but especially like Christmas was a very different thing. I would go to, there were no white churches. Like there are people who grew up not know what's the difference between a white church. Like how are there different kind of churches? No, I understood the difference. There were no white churches near me. So when I went to hang out, you know what I'm saying, in a different neighborhood, and I could tell the difference between a white church and, to me, a regular church. Like that's the way that I looked at it. It's like, yeah, there are white churches and regular churches. Like that's the mentality I grew up in. So I remember going up and just looking up, and it's like it never clicked something different to me. It's like, yeah, of course, Jesus grew up in the Middle East. Of course he would be that color, whatever color he was, whether it was a black church or a Puerto Rican church. It was always that idea of, yeah, of course Jesus would be that color. So when I see white Jesus, I'm like, and does that make a lot of sense? So, and it's just, it is what it is. And I understand the idea of we're going to try and make them look more like us. I get it. That doesn't bother me. But it was like, to me, that was kind of a shock where I'm like, his hair looks kind of straight to me. The beard looks tight though. I like the beard. Anyway, okay, Ghost Skittles, 6'1" black dude here. Justin Corbett, 6 foot black guy here. Yeah, dude. Yeah, my buddy Tro was bigger, and I know how many times that he was harassed by the cops. And it's funny, right in front of me, and I don't know if I even want to get into that right now, but just the idea of like the resentment that he would have sometimes, like, why didn't you say anything? It's like, what am I going to say? Like, what am I going to say? And I never understood that maybe I would have more of a say in what's going on. I would try and say something like, why are you bothering us? It's like, you stay out of it. This doesn't concern you. It's like, I was with him the whole time, but I didn't understand. I was young. We were all young. We just didn't get it. And I'm literally sitting there thinking to myself, dude, I was with him the whole time. Me, my buddy Dwight, all three of us, like me, Dwight, and Terrell, we were inseparable. Excuse me. And it's like, we were all doing the same things. Why is this guy? Whatever. I think Steve can save Wonder Woman. As a couple, they should be able to save each other. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. At the same time, he's really not nearly as strong as her, but I get the training. I get that. Especially like it's a soldier thing. So, yeah, soldier, I get it. What grade is freshman year? Orcam 03. It is 9th grade. 9th grade is freshman year. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Just my freshman year, I went to Asbury Park High School. Then I moved to a different high school. Dick Fillmore. Storm was a great, strong female character from Uncanny X-Men 201 Inferno. In the Inferno story, yeah, she was tough. She was tough as nails. She was always pretty much tough as nails. And it's funny, like when you think about it, people were mad. Like the feminist movement was mad when Wonder Woman lost her powers. You know what I'm saying? And they made her a secret agent. Because it just wasn't really done right. But when you look at Storm, when she lost her powers, she became tougher. She became she became rock solid tough. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how that was done differently, but it was done right. I loved that. That was great. Claremont had a way. He could go either way. He could do the rogue treatment where we all thought that maybe she did get raped, maybe she didn't get raped, but like there was definitely a rape culture mentality there. You know what I'm saying? But like Storm was done right. So that's an interesting paradigm. Professor Bill, Joe Fisher says, when I was 11, I shot up to 6 feet and I stayed there. 6 foot's a good height. 6 feet's a good height. I think you can fit on a plane and in buses and trains and things like that. Trains aren't usually that big of a deal. But like buses, I have to find, those open seats. You know what I'm saying? The seats that are facing the aisle. Cars are hard and planes are impossible. Planes are impossible. So no. No, I don't like planes. I don't like planes. Planes are like, and back seats of cars. They don't work for me. But yeah, I hear you, dude. Dude, I've always been about 195 pounds. I'm not even fat. I know I'm over 200 now, but some of it's height, some of it's a bit of an old person's gut. Do you work out, Red Black Cane? Red Black Cane's like 69 years old. Oh, there it goes. I'm 69 years old. I got dense bones, though. He's got the Rocky syndrome. Go Skittle. Red Black Cane, I'm not trying to call you out, but you don't seem 69, but you probably are. He's been saying he just had a birthday recently. Oh, shoot. What? Okay. It's always, okay, you guys are talking to each other, so keep talking to each other. My big lug is watching The Thing. Guess I'll have to go save him. Oh, the horror movie? Cool. See you later, Paula. Edge Comics. Save him, Paula. Stay awesome. My beard and all hair should add like 5 pounds. Storm had the mohawk. That's why it was the mohawk that made her tough. There we go. You know what? She was. I wonder. Oh, hold on. You know what's a good one? Which came first? Tina Turner from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, or Storm losing her powers? Because I'm positive one had to have influenced the other. And oh my God, was Tina Turner not hot back then? She doesn't age very much either, so she's probably still hot. Anyway, she just got married though not too long ago, I heard. Man. Anyway, could have maybe worked out a deal with my wife. Okay, you know what? Let's just move on with that. Storm was badass. Present for you in the Facebook chat. Okay, awesome. Noted you, Doug. I'll check it out. Powers don't define Storm. You know what? Best example I've heard of her yet. That's a really good one, PA. You know what? Instead of only talking about comics, also talk about some of the characters, some of those characters. Like, I would love to hear your opinion on Storm. That would be great for your channel. Because, yes, Storm defines Storm. That's probably the best way to describe her. Words to live by, pee poo poo. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. We're 2 hours, 10 minutes plus at this point, and I'm going to bounce. Going to go spend some quality, like the kids are over at Mama-in-law's house, so I'm going to go and just relax. I'm going to chill out. I got some more Creeper to be working on a little bit later, and 2 spotlights on stories that I'm dead on. There's a Creeper crossover with another character. I will be doing that crossover, and I will be doing the character. That's the hint. That's the only hint you got. Beat the leader of the moral. Yeah, when Storm beat Callisto was freaking amazing. 4:30 a.m. That's on you. That's on you. Love all you guys. Love, peace, and hair grease, guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.